It's about being alone, and changes in our environment. Like w- what I'm starting to understand, and it scares me a little bit. And when I say scare, yeah, it scares me a little bit, is that me, 40-year-old me, I'm still pretty much to myself a loner because I was raised that the type of people you hang around, don't be hanging around a bad company. But still, truth about the matter is it doesn't matter if people want to do something bad to you or say something bad about you or whatever they want to do. They can. There are rules and laws in this land, but people can do pretty much whatever it is they want. And just because you do the right thing doesn't mean that other people will. And the thing that they know that you have not been raised is they don't have to. So they do whatever it is that they want. And I'm gonna say it's some evil people out there. But in my personal life, people that just do bad things. But whereas the solitude and being alone in my younger years before the advent of technology, it is a very good thing because it's like the rain, like I said, it's refreshing yourself, your thoughts, your processes, your experiences, refreshing, rekindling, renewing, gaining an understanding. But in this age of technology, we are not ever technically alone. And the reason why is because, as is when I was 14 or 15 and I sat in my room, with my me time, I would be reading, writing, feeding myself, writing, thinking, analyzing the way we were taught to do in the classes that I was taught in. AP classes, you read something, you wrote it, you broke it down, you analyzed it, you compared it to your life, and you expounded on it. Now I think they're being taught that that's not what you do. But so your time that you spent with yourself before the advent of technology was quality time. You were getting to know yourself and developing yourself. But after the advent of technology, like I said, you're not really spending time alone and being introspective. Inspective, you're being programmed because what happens is that when you have your time alone now, you have your phones, your computers, and things like that, and you're on it the whole time. You're searching for things that are quote unquote pieces of you, and you're not taking the time to write or expound on them. At least, I don't. I mean, because that would require for a lot of us, which is kind of inconvenient. You got to set up a computer and, you know, maybe do a blog or something. And maybe that's what I should do. But the part of me that doesn't want to do that, the legal thing changed that because it involved, like they had all information they needed writing and in computer, and they didn't. They refused to use it. But and I had to go back and do an appeal and all this other stuff. But so you don't. And so what ends up happening is that the communication is one way by, you come in contact with the majority of the world that has been programmed a different way, through the games that you play on your computer. And when I say computer, I mean phone and all that stuff. Through the media that you are exposed to through, different YouTube and whatever. Now, stuff that I would not never ever normally watch. Like I said, it's been introduced to me. Foods that I would not normally. All of this is due to the system, and it's like I have to unprogram myself. But the thing is like a catch-22, because the thing is that whereas before I still am naive to a certain point, where you were not even exposed to these things, so you knew nothing about them. Now you are, and in a way, it's a good thing that you are because you need to know that those things are in the world. But it comes to a point where you have to stop feeding yourself that because you know it's in the world, but you have to push it away from you. It's like going to a buffet table and because it's in front of you, you continue to take it. You shouldn't. You stop and you push it away. I know enough to know that the world is full of trickery, that there's bad things out there. Okay, I know enough. I've seen it. I know it. I don't need to keep feeding that to myself. I need to keep that knowledge, put it in reserve, and then focus on the positivity and everything that's good in me and put that out into the world, feed that out. That's what I need to do. Because what happens is if you know something is bad and you continue to look out that window, you're programming yourself to be a slave to that, you know. And when I say to be a slave to that, I mean to be under, because those types of things oppress my spirit. So you're programming yourself that, you know, you have to be stuck under here watching this. You don't have to do that. You don't get out from under it. Um, that's my advice to you collectively and to myself, you know. Initially, when I started recording videos, it was to educate because there's so many lies out there that people don't know about, or at least I took for granted they didn't, because I didn't know that the world was that bad and that yes, indeed, people would actually go so far as to do these things. But now at this age and at this experience of being around young people through various job outlets, and I'm gonna vlog on that later, um, I've come to the realization that people do know, you know. And to be honest with you, the way YouTube is, because I can't even find like little personal blogs like the ones that I do. It's not easy for me to find. You know, everything's commercialized. Um, it's just that, you know, it's hard. It would be hard for people to really even find them, you know. And speaking of which, I want to give a special thanks to, um, and I'm careful about what I say because I want to give a special thanks to, you know, those of you, whether it be singular or plural, that take the time to seek me out, to find me, and to, you know, drop a line here and there just to let me know that, hey, I see you. I really appreciate that. Because that means that if you've been around this long and you're still taking the time to find me and being cognizant enough to drop me a line and being respectful enough to um, not make it a situation where I feel intimidated or scared or whatever, that you are good people, you know, or at least that's what I want to believe. And I want to say thank you because I'm gonna tell you, this world is a scary, scary place, kind of when you're all alone. Because, like I said, anybody or anything can do anything or say anything, and you know, the way that I was raised is that your reputation is everything. But really, what I'm realizing in real life is that, you know, that's a bunch of baloney because people can create a reputation for you out of thin air, you know, and depending on your level of influence, you may or may not be able to change that. And it's not just depending on your level of influence, it depends on what people want to believe too, because people in general, I'm sad to say, is they kind of just go along with the crowd, and it's scary. And even with truth and things like that glaring in their face, you know, they may or may not, depending on their sense and sensibilities. And people these days are being trained and programmed not to be sensible and not to have sense. It's just to go along and just do what everybody does, and it's kind of creepy, you guys. But yeah, I have some things to share, but I'm going to share them later because I don't want to share them in this environment, you know. But I want to say God bless you. I love you all, and I hope the best for everyone. Um, yeah. So peace. Bye.